Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new season of AOR here for round number 1 of season 16, the Australian Grand Prix. And for this season AOR we've got the most competitive grid we've ever had on the PS4 side, especially of AOR. And also it's a 21 round season ahead, so it's definitely going to be a long season. But as always, starting the championship here at Albert Park in Australia, a track that's been pretty good to me in the past. I managed to win here last season in season 15 of AOR F1. And season 14 I didn't have a good race here at all. In my first race of AOR F1 finished outside the points, and then I also picked up a podium in F2 around here in season 13 as well. But overall it's not been a bad track for me, and you can see joining the action here in qualifying we've got just about 1 minute 50 left here of the qualifying session. I'm currently on my final run and we've got to put in a competitive time now because we are currently down in P14, which the main reason for this is because my setup is made more for the race. It's not a qualifying setup at all. It's really good on its tyres compared to a lot of other setups that you could have around here. And you can see here I've made a mistake on my first lap of this last run here in the qualifying session, so it's all going to be about this last lap, which is going to make the pressure's going to be on here in this last lap because we've got to get it right, else we're going to be starting P14 at best, and we've still got people left to improve at this time. And you can see now already P15 as we're now getting towards starting our final lap here. So yeah, this setup, as I said, it's really good in the race, and I didn't think it'd be too bad in qualifying. I knew it wasn't ideal, but I didn't think I'd be this slow in qualifying, so it came as a bit of a shock. But we got to see what we can do here, and I knew if I'm not going to be inside the top 10, I've just got to aim for around P11 where I can start on fresh tyres and hopefully still get a pretty decent result. But preparation for this season probably wasn't ideal because my brake pedal once again was faulty. I had basically the same problem that I had before of it flickering on even though I wasn't even pressing the pedal down. So I've actually switched to the clutch, which before this race I was using for about a week, so I had to get used to that pretty quickly, which definitely isn't easy at all. And I managed to get used to it fairly quickly, and to be honest I'm not struggling with it as much as I thought. And you can see currently P16, we're not really up on our previous best time. I think my PB around here was a 19.1, but with the setup I didn't even try it in qualifying, but I knew it was really good in the race. So I was kind of going into this a bit blind. I didn't really prepare myself properly for the qualifying session ahead, but you can see P18, so we've really got to improve here. We're just under a tenth up on our previous best time, so let's see what we can do here in this final sector of the lap. So rounding the final corner, onto the pit straight, opening DRS as early as we can, and we've run out of ERS for this lap as well. That is not ideal in the slightest, but we crossed the line to go P11, and as I said earlier, if you're not going to be in the top 5 or like the high end of the top 10, then it's best to start in P11 to start on the fresh tyres and also run an alternate strategy. So we're going to be starting the race on the soft tyres, and you can see here starting the formation lap as well, which they finally got working compared to what they had on F1 2017. We've also got the safety car working as well, so let's hope we can have a good start to the season. But you can see now rounding up to the 5 red lights here for the Australian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go here for AOR season 16. And Jarno alongside us didn't get a good start at all. He's pretty much stalled off the line. We're already up into P10, but we've got the Force India of Kaz up our inside into turn number 1. And you can see RC Alonso and I think that was Epic Gamer have collided already into turn 1, so we're already in P9, going side by side with Kaz here for P8 as well. Into turn 3, going round the outside. We need to stay in front of him because he's also running the same strategy as us, so we need to stay in front of him, and we managed to do that, so we're still in P8. And starting from P11, I've been in that situation before, and we just got to stay patient and hopefully get a good result and get a good damage limitation here today as well. And you can see I've slightly run a bit wide into that corner, and if you don't warm up your tyres properly on the formation lap, then you will struggle, especially on the harder compound, because just the amount of understeer you get at the start of the race with tyres that aren't fully warmed up is really quite something. So you can see already struggling with that. At the moment we've now got Williams Nervo, who is definitely one to watch this season. He is absolutely rapid, and you can see going through the fast chicane, getting onto the Astro on the exit and almost ending up in a wall there. We managed to save it just about, but now Nervo is going round the outside of us here into this 90-degree right-hander. He's managed to get round the outside of us, and I thought him being on the super soft tyres, he's going to be quicker than me anyway, so we don't really need to fight him too hard, and hopefully he can sort of pull us along to the cars in front, but obviously I think everyone in the top 7 is on the ultra soft tyres, so we don't really need to worry about them at all at this stage of the race anyway, and we just got to focus on putting in some good consistent times and making this strategy work to perfection in order to try and get a top 5 finish here today, which was definitely the aim. But you can see we finally got into a bit of a rhythm here on lap 5. Did struggle getting the tyres up to temperature in the early part of the race, but you can see lap 5 now starting to get into the groove, and personal best of a 24.5, which isn't bad at all on the soft tyres, and we're also up on this lap as well. And you can see closing up onto the back of Nervo, who I expected to be a lot quicker, especially on the super soft tyres, and especially considering the past he's had and how quick he has been in the past. He's a season 12 champion, he's absolutely rapid on 2016 and even the early part of 2017 as well, so I did think he'd be quicker than he is. And you can see already going for a moves out pretty late, but we're going down the inside, and that was never really on because I purely had to back out there. And you can see Deagle's into the wall as well, which kind of caught me off guard, and I did move out because I saw obviously he's in the wall, and the ghosting system on this game hasn't been that reliable, so you always have to just be a bit cautious and not presume that he's going to ghost, so I had to avoid that, and that's kind of created a bit of a gap to Nervo in front in P7, and using DRS into turn number 1, and you can see Nervo's actually made a bit of a mistake there, and we're going to get into the slipstream. We're going to use DRS as well, ERS and overtake as well, and he goes defensive pretty late once again. We're switching to the inside then the outside, and now making the cutback on him, trying to get the move done here for P7. We need to clear him as quickly as possible because he is going pretty slow at this stage. You can just see how much we're being held up, and he's actually made a mistake there on the exit of that corner there, and we are now up into P7. And here on lap 6, we're not too far at all from the top 6 on ultra soft tyres, and we're in a pretty good position at this stage of the race. And you can see lap 8 now, a lot of the cars in front apart from Williams Alex have pitted, and this is the stage where we need to just focus on putting in consistent and quick lap times, and soon we're going to be in the lead of the race as well because Williams Alex is into the pits. And if you're wondering, Williams Alex is actually synthetic, but obviously with him racing for Williams in the F1 Esports Pro Series, he's changed his gamer tag, so in case you're wondering, that is synthetic, the season 15 champion. So definitely he's going to be one to watch again this season, and he's definitely going to be one of our main rivals this season as well. So you can see into the lead now on lap 9. We've got Kaz and Curly behind, who are running the same strategy to us, and you can see already moving on to lap 17, and during that time we did manage to put in some really consistent times, and our pace was pretty good, and we're definitely in a good position now. And you can see Floris is behind, 9.1 seconds behind, then my teammate Dominic Hoffman as well, and those two have pitted already. So when we come out the pits, we're going to be on the faster tyre. We're going to pit for super soft tyres as well, and then hopefully we can do some overtaking, get through the field, and maybe have a decent result. At this stage I was aiming for a top 5 finish, which definitely looks on the cards at the moment, so let's see what we can do. The pace has been good, we've managed to work everything to perfection at this stage, so let's see how the rest of the race goes. So heading towards the pit lane now, into the pits we go. ERS already in low, we're going to save that obviously when we're in the pits, as now braking to the pit lane line, and we need a good stop here. We've definitely made the right decision to go on the super soft tyres compared with elongating my soft tyre stint to go on the ultra softs, especially considering the fact that the ultra softs wear out after about 5 laps, and the super softs compared to the ultra softs around here is not really a massive pace advantage, so we definitely made the right decision to make our soft tyre stint shorter and then to go on the super soft tyres. But you can see exiting the pits now, Epic Gamer or Lucas Blakely has gone through already into P7. We've come out the pits in P8 with Williams Nardi not too far behind, and he might be able to challenge us here down towards turn number 3. He's got the DRS, and we're going to defend the inside line because we know we need to stay in front of him at this stage in the race, because we're going to have such an advantage on tyres, and we've got fresher tyres, we've got softer tyres as well, so our pace from here is going to be really good, and we've got to try and pull off quite a few overtakes here. And the first person we need to overtake is Epic Gamer, and he actually made it to the F1 Esports Pro Draft this year, so he's definitely a very quick driver, and that just shows again like the calibre of drivers we have this season in AOR PS4 F1 is by far the best ever. and you can see there setting a 23.2, fastest lap of the race, closing in on Lucas Blakely very quickly at the moment. We've even got DRS as well down the straight this lap, and you can see we've got to try and clear him as quickly as possible, because if we want to catch the guys in front, who I think is Alberto, and then I think after that it's AOR Flying Finn. So in order to try and get that top 5 finish, we've got to clear Lucas Blakely as quickly as possible, and he was actually involved in that collision at turn number 1 with RC Alonso, so he's definitely had a great comeback to come through the field and get up into P7, but we've got to try and get through and take that P7 off him now. And I think our first opportunity will probably be in the second DRS zone down towards the right-hander in the final sector here, but you can see closing on him at the moment. This is one of the worst places for dirty air around here, but we've managed to stay just about within range of trying to make a move into this corner using overtake, DRS open, but not quite close enough to make a move this time round. But we should be close enough to make a move down the pit straight this time, so we've got to hopefully stay close around here. Dirty air will be affecting us as we look to the inside of the hairpin, but that's really to just try and put him off now. We've got to get a good exit out of this final corner, so putting ERS in overtake, going into rich mix down the straight, DRS open, got the slipstream and everything, and we've got all the tools available to make the move into turn number 1 and get up into P7. And next up is Alberto, who is another one who made it, well, he didn't make it to the F1 Esports Pro Draft this year, he made it to the F1 Esports Finals in 2017, so he's once again a great driver and another rival for us this season. And yeah, as I said, just shows the calibre of drivers we have this season in AOR. But already at the end of lap 21, we are right onto the back of him here. So around the final corner, it looks like we're going to make the same move again. ERS in overtake, fuel mix up into rich as well, and we move to the inside, setting the fastest lap once again. Up the inside we go with Alberto into turn number 1, a pretty simple move for us. And we are now up into P6 with about 4 seconds, I believe, up to AOR Flying Finn, and then a further 3 seconds or so to, I think it was Floris, Michael and Synthetic as well. And I think my teammate, I think his gamer tag's like NTG Freak or something, but Dominic Hoffman, who once again another driver made it to the F1 Esports Pro Draft this year, and he's currently leading the race. But what I wasn't aware of was the fact that Dominic Hoffman and Floris both had 9 seconds worth of time penalties, which means at this moment we're currently in provisional P4, which I had no idea about. I thought we were just going to try our best to get P5 here. We've got 4 laps to go, so we just got to try and make that move, but I had no idea that the move we're about to make on Flying Finn was for a podium, so that's definitely a massive surprise for us, especially starting from P11, which is something I didn't expect, because when I saw that I was in P18 on my final lap in qualifying, not gonna lie, I was worried. I thought this is definitely going to be tough to score points, but luckily we managed to get into P11, and so far in this race we managed to work the strategy to perfection, and we've had really decent pace with this setup as we now go round the outside of Flying Finn, who's actually 13, so it's definitely been an impressive debut for him here today. He's done a great job, and to be in P6 in your debut at that age as well is very impressive, so fair play to him. And we are now up to P5 with about, I think that said 4 seconds to Williams Alex, or Synthetic as he used to be known, and he didn't have a penalty. Michael I think had 1 penalty, I might be wrong about that, but Floris and Dominic with their penalties actually puts us into a provisional P3. But at this stage I was trying to push to get within 3 seconds of Alex and I think it was Michael in front of him, and I was just going to try and get in within 3 seconds of them, and then I was hoping they may have penalties, and then that could elevate us up onto the podium. But little did I know about Dom and Floris's penalties, and when I crossed the line it was a massive shock, and I was really pumped about this race because, yeah, as I said, I didn't really have much hope after qualifying, well, before my final run in qualifying, and you can see almost losing the car there on the final lap as well. That's the second time in this race I've nearly lost the car, but 2.9 seconds up to Alex, so we've closed in about 1.5 seconds on him already, and I just still at this stage, despite that moment there on, well, a couple of corners ago, I was still trying to get within 3 seconds of him, and we just got the ghost of RC Alonso in front, which I find really annoying when you have ghost cars in front of you like that. I think that was part of the reason why I made that mistake there, because it's just so distracting, especially when you're trying to push hard in the final part of this race. But you can see, using all ERS I have available to me, all fuel I have left as well, just trying to push to get within 3 seconds of Alex. But we are at this moment on the podium, which is a massive surprise, and to go from 11th to P3 is really a fantastic result and great damage limitation. You can see Dom crossed the line in first, but we finished in P3. Michael takes the win, Alex finishes second, and we are in P3 here today, which is a great start to the championship. I knew before this race my aim was to get onto the podium here today. After qualifying I didn't think that was possible, especially just on this game. It's quite difficult to overtake with the dirty air and everything like that, but to finish in P3 was a great surprise, and it's a good start to the championship. And I know now for the next few races I've just got to find a setup that's the perfect balance between qualifying and the race, unlike I had here today. But it did work out eventually, and I'd say that was one of my best drives in AOR F1, because it's just a track that you can't really overtake at, and the fact that we managed to get on the podium from 11th on the grid was a massive surprise. And after the race I couldn't really believe it, purely because the fact that Dom and Flores had 9 seconds worth of penalties was a massive surprise. And Flores from pole position finished in P5, and my teammate Dom in P4. I was in P3, Alex in P2, and Michael, fair play to him, in P1. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you for round 2, which is Bahrain, very soon. Goodbye.